Hello again. Hello again. It's good old Heavy Hands here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces of cottonwood bark. This one I found at the beach. This one I got from the forest. I'm not too sure what I want to carve today. You know, when you're doing a YouTube video, you should probably want to know what you want to carve. It's either, well, I might carve everything. Well, I'll carve 4 wood spirits. There's a gathering and I want to be able to give my friends some wood spirits to have for prizes. So there's 4 wood spirits I can carve here. Or I got this piece of cottonwood bark. This is a real cottonwood, not bark. It's a small cottonwood tree from F. Bob's place on Vancouver Island. Maybe I could carve a wood spirit in here. It still has the bark on it. Wood spirit in here, or an owl and a nuck. So I think the most important part when you want to get into carving, when you want to start your carving, is clean up the area where you want to carve. So if I want to carve a wood spirit in here, or an owl and a nuck, take the bark off where I want to clean, where I want to carve. One thing about this, let me give you the wider view here. One thing about this, though, you don't want to, because we're going to be using the Dremel carver, you don't want to hit on the outside of the bark where you're not carving. You want to leave it all natural. So that you got to remember that. Kind of same with this too. So I think what I'm going to do is pull out my Fordham Dremel and clean up take all the gray stuff where I want to do the wood spirits. For example, this one's cut this way. It's flat on the top. So I'd like to make them so if they're cut that way, put the top, because people won't be able to see that because it'll be hanging on the wall, right? And leave the natural stuff on the bottom. Just like this one. It's flat up there. Carve it like that so it looks natural on the bottom and they don't see the top. Anywho. All right, so I got all the wood cleaned up, the bark cleaned up on this piece. I cleaned up all where I want to do the carving on all the pieces of wood. So I think I'm gonna carve all these today. It won't take me that long. I think what I'm gonna do is, there's different ways to do each one. Your wood spirits. So like here's your piece. Now how can I explain this? This one I'll do it like knife carving. So your forehead would be up here. Right? Then your eyes across here. Then your nose here. So this one, I'll remove, well, let's just do this instead of your forehead. So I'm going to dig deep into the forehead here. I'm going to carve it like way down here. Remove all this wood up here. And it's going to be like this. Okay? And then I'm going to remove all the wood down here. So that's how you're going to get your nose to stick farthest off the face. So remove all this wood here. Then remove all this wood in here and slope it up. So all this wood here is gone deep down into here, all the way across to the other side. And then the nose, all this wood here, like a chainsaw would just be chopped and then block this whole piece right out. But you can't do that. So we'll do that for that one. This one, we'll just kind of do it our normal way. So forehead. Oh, sorry, center line, everybody, when you're doing it this way. Eyebrows. Your nose. And you can make it a little bit windy up here with this hair. And you can make this one windy this way. Because you got longer point here, then it's got more open up here. So windy this way and windy this way. Just a little bit, doesn't have to be a full-on windy day. Anyways, this one. This is harder wood than the bark for sure. So do you want to make it half a face in here? Or do you want to do a full face in here? So let's kind of our forehead. center line, your eyebrows, your nose, and then bleed off your mustache into your piece. This could actually be pushed up a little bit higher, forehead up here. Now it's just making a mess. Forehead, cross out these lines, your eyebrows. Sorry everybody, probably for the very beginners this is confusing. Cross off these lines, then boom, boom, right? So make sure you got this one all scribbled out so you know not to carve that one. I speak for myself. Oh, what a nightmare this is. Anyways, I'm gonna be wearing my dust mask here, so this is gonna be a voiceover. I think I'll get the worst one out of the way. That's this one. So this one, the deeper that you see, I just took off the bark. So, but the deeper that you carve into here and make the face, the harder it is to move your Dremel around. So we're just going to keep this one pretty. We're not going to carve it that deep, and we'll speed it up. So I'm going to remove the wood on the forehead, slope it back. Then I'm going to remove the wood underneath the eyebrows, then slope it back, and then underneath the nose, and then remove the wood underneath the nose. I'll speed this up and do a timeline, do a friggin' voiceover. Welcome to another Just Carve Rob voiceover. Oops, I mean Carving Fusion. Shout out to Ben Studio on the Lake. I showed my dust mask there because I figure it's very important for everybody to wear their dust masks. Now, what the frick is going on with this thing? It kind of seems glitchy because I sped it up 4 times the speed. So there you can see I cut the forehead in, cutting the forehead in. There we go. Cutting the forehead in. Now I'm going to cut across the eyebrows. There's so many different ways to do it. I show you guys another way. It's more kind of like knife carving later on. Now's the time, this time of year, where I should be in my carving tent carving pumpkins and Christmas trees. But since I've done so much work on my yard, I've kind of, well, I'm not bitching about, but I hurt my back. This was strained my back, and then now it's in my hip. So I just got to rest. So I figured, these are always good sellers at Christmas time too. So I got to get a bunch done. And I found out last night that I usually donate some carvings, chip in some carvings for a thing for some friends, so they can people can win prizes. They can win one of these carvings as a prize, not a prize, but can win a door gift or something like that. So I like to usually have some of those for them, my friends. And then the girl that lives in this where I live, she's like a crafter. And she goes to all these art shows, craft sales, and she asked me if she wanted me to take some of my carvings to some craft shows, and I said sure. And so because I'm not into going to like craft sales and stuff like that, that's not my thing. I tried it and I couldn't stand it. This I really sped it up. I think here that's what happens when I'm looking at it. It gets glitchy. So I had to get some wood spirits done. I still got lots more to get done too. But I believe tomorrow I'm going to be, like I said, I really got to rest my back and my hip, but I think I can just chainsaw, carve gentle, and maybe carve one tree and one pumpkin, make one video out of it for the very beginning chainsaw carvers. I had my camera tilted up a little bit too far on the screen. Well, I didn't, but the cameraman did, so I had to fire yet another cameraman. Excuse me, I need to get a sip of water here. So you see I cut beside the nose, cut the bottom lip in. Like I say, like there is a perfect example of having the camera too high. Cut deep beside the temples of the head. I learned that trick from Just Carve Rob. How you doing, old buddy? Just Carve Rob. Larry Dibbs challenge, the Watcher. I'm going to be doing that with a chainsaw. And I got a plan. I got my plan all together. And my plan is, Jordy, what were you thinking? So, like I said, don't blame me. Blame the cameraman for this filming. It just seems glitchy on this part because I sped it up so fast, I think. I'm not too sure. But cut deep beside the face, deep beside the temples. Okay, so cutting your beard and mustache hairs in, just cut them nice and smooth. Never cut them straight in. Never be afraid to cross them. Gives it more depth. You know, when you're doing a wood spirit carve, put your hole in the back to hang it, sign it. You never want nothing to be straight on a wood spirit. You don't want, well, I don't think you want straight lines anyways. Now here's a piece of bark. I'm carving this exact same way I did the last one. Cut the forehead back deep. I think this is 4 times the speed. Cut the nose in. The more you guys do, the better you'll get. I'll say that at the end of this video. This is kind of the windy day one. And I'm carving here. When I'm carving all today, I'm like really hauling ass. I'll say that I did all these carvings in about 3 hours today. At the end of the video. Maybe 3.5. But I'm making this video so all the... Anyways, I talk about it at the end of the video. Cutting in the cheekbones. See me jumping around from everywhere to everywhere? Because you're always trying to even out the plane. Try and make sure. When you do a windy day spirit, like the mustache blows over to one side, so it's a little bit different. But you're always trying to keep both sides of the face the same. Cut my eyebrows in. When you work on the nose, go really slow. When you work on eyes, go really slow. See, I'm just jumping around, going from side to side. I never work on one side of the face too long. Because then it's easier to jump back, cut the nostrils in. It's easier to jump back and forth from side of the face to side of the face. That's how you're going to have an easier chance keeping everything equal, like both sides of the face the same. This guy turned out pretty good. And I'm telling you, I carved it fast. Really fast. Too fast. But sometimes, I don't know, I guess I'm a little bit of a freak. Sometimes when I carve faster, my carvings seem to turn out better. Sign it. Just doing some little touch-ups. I think I got the gold burr on there now. There's a 2. See the cottonwood bark, how I carved it a lot deeper, how you can get that nose to stick off further? Because it's easier to carve. Softer. And it holds, I think that piece of wood, that white piece of wood, actually, I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's some kind of, I think it's cherry, a young cherry tree, actually. Because it smelled super good when I pulled my dust mask off. Oh yeah, I'm finishing up this one, cutting in the cheekbones. Damn, cameraman doesn't realize it costs me camera time when he doesn't get me in carving in frame. Sucking in the cheekbones. Once you figure that cheekbones out, you know your wood spirits sure look a lot better too. You see on the side of the face there how I carve deep? Gurdeep says carve deep, everybody. And what's going on here? Yeah, sorry, like when I'm watching this video, it seems glitchy. Here's the way knife carvers would do it. Like I showed you earlier. So there's your forehead. Now there's your eyebrows. There's your nose. Cut your eyebrows deeper if you want to. Eyebrows, nose, and bottom of the nose. no, sorry, forehead, eyebrows, cut your nose in. This was not a very good piece of bark. It was kind of fuzzy. Cut your temples in, round your forehead off. Kevin Sticks at Stones, he's not making videos recently, but he taught me that the forehead's 3 planes. This piece of bark was actually a terrible piece of bark, but you know, when you guys are carving terrible wood, sometimes like to the point where it's like so terrible you can't carve it, chuck it away, don't even waste your time. But when you have a piece of wood like this where you still can carve it even though it's terrible, what I mean terrible, it's like fuzzy and soft and pieces were breaking off, just leave it, carve it, practice carving your eyebrows, practice carving your beard hairs. Just even though your wood spirit, if you have a junky piece of wood and your wood spirit looks like a piece of donkey poo, don't throw it away. Trust me, somebody would love to have it. I think this guy's the guy I gave teeth to. I'm not sure. Split your eyebrows too. See how I just split them quickly there? Don't give it a unibrow. Oh, this guy's just got an open, cut deep into the side of the head. That's going to be the end of this voiceover, everybody. But there's the 2 cottonwood spirits I did quickly. I'm going to carve some eyes in the right one. So we had a little bit of a carving fest going on here at Carving Fusion. Now, this one, his bottom lip's hanging. He's got some teeth in there. This is just a quick block out. I think for myself, speak for myself, you know, when you get ones like this, they look more realistic. They take more time than ones like this, no eyes. Like this one's going to have real eyes, like ones like that. They're wood spirits. We're not trying to carve like, this one's realistic looking. But when I say wood spirits, these are wood spirits, right? Like boom, 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 boom. I just tried to make them all different. These ones that have this is like kind of back to the basics, my original wood spirits with the open mouth. This one's sagging this way. This one's sagging that way too. But you can just make them round. Those are really popular and they're kind of happy looking. This guy's just confused. Well, he's just crazy. I thought about what can I do on this video to try and help the people, beginning wood carvers, to try and carve eyes. I have 2 different ways to do it, but let's do the real eyes on this one, realistic eyes anyways. And it's, if you know, you can see for the beginning carvers, carve deeper means like carve deeper on the side of the face, make it rounder, not so flat, right? Like, see, this one's flat, this one's not carved deeper. But this one is carved deeper, make everything more rounder. You see, like if you look up close, it just looks like kind of like a piece of shit. But once you clean it all up, it will look better. But let's just focus on the eyes for this one. I'm going to be using, you guys can still use your Dremel. I'm running a Dremel 4000 with a Dremel flex shaft and a foot pedal for on and off. This is by Ram Micromotor. This is one of those little Kutzall detail bits. Okay, you get them in the packs of 3 or 4. If you go to the description below, you would take you to the Kutzall site and just search Kutzall detail bits, and these things are freaking awesome. Anyways, but you can do this with the Dremel. You don't need to have this, the Micromotor. So let's see here. So when I'm doing eyes, I don't like to have my dust mask on because I like to blow it out. You guys will hear me in the video. So I just got 2 lines like that straight across there, right? So pretend this is my bit. Actually, let me find a little bit here. Pretend this bit is what I'm carving with. So when I'm holding the Micromotor, your Dremel flex shaft, this bit, I dig deep into this corner. The deeper that you dig into your corners, so this would be a corner of the eye, and this would be a corner of the eye, right? So I'm going to dig deep in there. Dig deep means carve deep inside there. I'm going to go here, boom, dig deep in there, and then I'm going to go this, boom, dig deep into here. Then I'm going to turn my piece upside down. Then I'm going to dig deep into here, and I'm going to dig deep into here, all right? Then I try and, you'll see me carve it and try and make it look around, like open the top eyelid up a bit. So you dig deep in there. If you dig, okay, let's just focus on one eye here. If you dig deep in this side, this corner of the eyeball, your eye socket, you dig deep in there, and then you rotate it, and you dig deep in there, it's already going to start looking round inside there. So dig deep. Let's just focus on one eye at a time, okay? I like to do both at the same time, but we'll just do one. So, oh, I got to get my micromotor going here. So this is the round micromotor. Okay, so actually we're going to do both eyes. So dig deep. Oh, let me turn the dust collector on. Dig deep. See how deep I dug that in there? Then over to here. Okay? Got both those. Look, it already looks like it's looking that way. Then we're going to go over here, dig deep. Then we're going to go over here and dig deep. Now look, you basically already have eyes in there. Now just kind of open it up. Open it up. Right, now rotate it. All right. So now, let's just make it look round inside there. Okay. Now, your eyelids should be round too. So you can see, like, I carved pretty deep into this corner here. But now I'm going to carve deep my eyelids. I'm going to carve on the outside of that area. And try and follow the inside round part. So now you got that bottom eyelid cut, right? Now you want to remove the wood below the bottom eyelid. And feather it out. Feather it out towards the cheek. Same on this side. Now feather that wood out. I kind of look at this one and look at this one to make sure they're kind of equal. This one's, you know, there's a lot more to carving eyes than there is just carving the eyes. Okay, so now our top eyelid, cut it in there and round it. Get it, like it, go deep in there. You see how the eyelid, I'm rounding it around the inside? Now your top eyelid needs to go over top of your bottom eyelid. Just keep on removing the wood. Okay, so that eye's pretty good. This one, but this one I gotta do some Geordie heavy hands carving here quickly. Actually, I shouldn't say quickly, because when you want to take your time is when you're doing the eyes. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Now, this eye is way bigger than this eye. Now, what's the problem here? Now, I got to recut this eye in to make it. Now this will be a save because I cut it. Eyes are hard to film, trying to show how to do them on video, because it's hard to get the piece in front of you. Let's see here. Like when you're filming, it's hard to have the piece square to you. Now we got to recut that bottom eyelid in again. Now what's happened is this eye is deeper than this eye because I'm an idiot. But that's okay. You know, you can go like this. Give him his little eyebrows, eyebrow hairs. Age lines up here. Now, look at these eyes. This one's pushed way farther back. This one's good, but this one's not good. It's too deep in there. So what am I? This is how I think. How do I want to? Well, let's carve this one a bit deeper. See if we can kind of. Make them kind of both the same depth. You just got to carve deeper. That's what carve deeper means. Not necessarily to fix your mistakes, but to, well, it's how you get better. We got to take that eyelid down again too because we're carving it deeper. Look at the length on your other one. Now we're getting down there. It's unfortunate that this first eye was good that I'm working on now, but you have to make it kind of to match the other one. You got to take that bottom eyelid down deeper. And it's not so round anymore. What are those things called? Crow's feet. sometimes when you're doing the eyes, it's just like, okay, well, it's time to stop. Actually, I need to make this one more. All right. So now I need to open this one up. See how this one is? I need to open up this one a bit more. Just cut into that bottom eyelid. Let's go like this. Let's see here. Hold on. Sorry. Let's just plunge in here and plunge in here. There. Separate that. So there's, I don't know how well you guys can see, but they're good enough. So you want to separate that lip from the mustache. Now here's a good example. So this bottom lip here, you got to get in there and separate it from the mustache. Same with those teeth. It would kind of be like a undercut. Here's another example. This one. See that mustache, how it rides up to the beard? You do a cut in there, it separates it. See that cut, how it separates it? You feather it out down here. Clean it up a bit. All right, so again, eyes. Now, your eyebrows, like what I was saying earlier, carving these eyes, it's lots of things come into effect. You got to have the same length side of the face, like these need to be the same. Your eyebrows need to be the same height. You can make them bendy or evil or whatever you want to do, but lots of things come into effect. I'm not the best trying to explain how to do eyes. So I'm going to get these ones done. I'm going to run around and clean up all the carvings with the Kutzall Flame Gold Burr. This one. And carry on. All right. You know, sitting here carving these wood spirits makes me realize, you know, how much fun they are to carve, really. And it kind of honestly takes me back to the basics and just lets me carve fast and have a good time. This one I carved quickly right after. This, see how I brought the, look how low, let's see here. Look how low that lip is from the mustache. That's kind of like a Uncle Kevin's style. There's so many different styles and things you can do. But the more you do, you're going to learn how to do different styles and different things. And you're going to learn how to carve deeper. But I can't suggest it any more than I could possibly suggest it. Is once you who cares? Get a shitty piece of wood that you got for free, punky or not, and practice carving deeper, making the face more rounder. Now, I think I got this piece of, I think this is sassafras. I think I got this from a lady named Fran. She sent me a box of it a couple of years ago. I'm going to, on my own time, I'm just going to carve half a wood spirit face in here because it's got the bark. She says that she loves, wait, what's that little bug on there? She says she loves carving this because she smells like root beer, but I'm going to be wearing my dust mask. And also, since I'm having such a good time today, I might even make a video carving this rolling pin. Huh? So here it is. This all my pieces are signed. Let's put a Jordy Johnson in there. RDJOHNSON. I'm just showing how you can do different things, different wood spirits, different types of things. So I figured that I might as well keep this video going. Now I'm not gonna this rolling pin. Now this is my least favorite wood to carve. In most cases, it's maple. I don't know if this one's maple, though. It's got weird little crack. This might be oak or something. I have no clue. Maybe you guys can tell by those things on there, those grains. But rolling pins, they have when these things were made, they have a clear coat or a wax or something food safe put on here. So I suggest when you're going to do a rolling pin is clean up all this whole area first, if you want to, because when you're carving, this is going to be whitish wood. It's going to be, you're going to see the finish on it once you start doing your carving. Let's just do a quick pass here. So you can see the color difference. Now, I don't know. Yeah, it smells like maple. Now, another thing too, these rolling pins are usually, you can see here, there's a line here. Usually they're done in two pieces and glued together like that. I don't know if this one is or not though, because everything seems consistent. But for myself, and I always speak for myself, if you look at this would be edge grain. See the grain going up? You just see lines? No. Jordy doesn't like carving edge grain. Here's face grain. So you're cutting through the grains when you're cutting the face grain. You see how it does that? Pretend this is just stacked layers of paper. You're cutting through the layers of paper. But when you're cutting the edge grain, you're just cutting the sides of the paper. And you see the lines. I much prefer to carve face grain, cutting through the layers of paper. Because sometimes, just like that god-awful flower I just sent, I gave Just Carve Rob, it was old cedar, it was edge grain, and you look at the flower and all the petals, all you see is these lines in it, straight lines. So I much prefer to carve the face grain, base grain, edge grain. Now, I don't think I'm going to film for this, but I'm going to carve a wood spirit on it. These are big sellers too. You could carve see, look, I have to clean up this whole piece because I bought this at the thrift store and the sticky stuff's still on here. So I got to clean it all up. I'll probably use, let's see here. You know, you got to remember when they put their wax or food safe stuff on this, it sinks into the wood. So sometimes you got to sand it quite a bit deep to get the natural color of the wood to pop out. I'm going to try and do that and keep these red handles on here. So how about I clean up this stuff? We'll draw on a wood spirit and I'll just carve it. I don't think I need to film. Alrighty. Did I say maple is my least favorite wood to carve? It is. What's that orange thing on the screen here? Stand by. There's something weird on the screen. Anyways. Face grain. Edge grain. Edge grain. Where do you want to put your carving? So here's a nice face grain piece here. And on the other side, I think this is one piece. You got that much depth of wood to carve, so it's not going to be a really deep carving. So that side and this side. Let's go with this side here. Why is maple my least favorite wood to carve? Well, I don't know. I just don't like carving it. It seems like it's fuzzy when you carve it. Coal, it's hard wood. It's hard on your bits. It's fuzzy when you carve it wet, and it's fuzzy when you carve it dry. But wood turners love turning maple. It finishes really nice, and it sucks in the finish really good, I believe. So let's try and make this one different. Maybe we can make this one like the old antique wizard hats like I do. Do I want to put that much effort into this? So then your eyes would be here. This could be like a gnome. The old, I don't even know if they had wizard hats like this, but I kind of just bring the sides down of the hat like this. Now, let's see. Let's draw this on proper here, Jordy. Now it would come down like this, and then this would come down like this. Now, you have to give them a little bit of eyebrows. So that center line for our nose. Boom. 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 And then your mustache would come down here. Don't be a Geordie, everybody. I mean it when I say don't be a Geordie. So the first thing I need to do is carve on this side of the hat to make the hat elevated off the wood. I'm going to keep using my, hey, what's going on here? I'm going to keep using my Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr for this. And let's just do a quick pass here. Oops, got to turn my Dremel up. Oh, I can hear my Dremel bogging out. All right, so there's your hat cut in. Now you got to remove this wood. Now, my camera's going to die, so I'm not sure if this is maple, but if you guys can carve soft wood that holds good detail, carve the soft wood that holds good detail. It's way less work for your bits. Your bits stay sharper, longer, and it's way less work for your Dremel. You know, I just had to stop here for a quick minute. Now, you can see the hats there and all the features are done. I just did this with the Extreme. You know, I was thinking, I'm always trying to give like positive advice when I'm doing these carvings. You know, so you got your carving in here, and this is all going to be smooth out here. If you want to leave it smooth, you can do textures out here. But when you want to leave it smooth out here like this, I might do some spiral lines here, but pretend this is going to be smooth. You always kind of got to spend as much attention on the outside of the carving than you do like on the outside of it than you do on the inside of the carving, because well, you don't want to have cut lines and stuff in there. You just want to keep removing the wood nice and slowly. Like, you don't just want to do this cut and just have a bump there. You want to keep on removing the wood and feathering it away. And I've said that on lots of my videos. I think it's really important to feather away your cuts. You know, remove more wood up in here. Make it look like a gradual feather away your friggin' cuts. All right, so for the very beginners, if it's even your very first carving, don't forget to sign your pieces. This one is done. I just did a weird symbol up there. I thought it might look a little bit like, I don't know if it was a Russian or Germany, but this symbol means, if anybody asks, it's like an old Viking rune symbol, and it means F right off. That's what it means. I did some of my carving fusion spirals, 1, 2, and then 1 down here. So that's that. Cleaned up on the outside of the wood. Don't forget, most people will probably hang this. I suggest for the rolling pins, it's like most guys, I don't know, well, some like them, but more ladies will like these rolling pins than the men. So carve something nice and smiley on there. That would probably sell a lot better. I had to carve a hole in here to hang it with a little piece of rope. So that's it. So let's finish off this video. We'll put all the carvings back there and have a grand carving fusion, finishing off grand finale. All right. So I think it was a pretty good carving day. Hope somebody's able to learn something. You know, they don't all have to look the same. And another thing too is when your wood spirits start looking the same over and over and over, and you're starting to feel like you're really repetitive, try new things. Try a slack bottom lip like that. Try where's the one with teeth? Try giving it some teeth. Try one inside the wood. Try a rolling pin. Try a hat. There's so many different things that you can try to do. Try real eyes. Try no eyes. Try a windy day wood spirit. Anyways, my whole point of this video, I'm going to ask you guys right now. Have you guys noticed something on this video at the end, looking at all these carvings? What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 carvings. You guys notice something about all of these carvings? How they're all this. They're all not the same, but they're all different. But there's no wood burning on these carvings, and there's no finish on these carvings. I'm not putting wood burning on these carvings. I'm not putting a wood finish on these carvings. They're done. They're done. You do not have to put a wood finish on your carving. You do not have to burn your carvings. The more that you do, the more you're going to be able to make it so you can see the features by undercuts. The more that you do, you're going to learn what burrs are going to be able to burn the wood, like inside that eye, burn the wood. The more that you do, these aren't friggin' museum pieces. But the more you do, the more you're going to learn how to do different things, and the better you're going to get. All right? Carving Fusion, I'm definitely out of here. I'm out of coffee, and it's time to relax. Hope somebody's learned something out of this video. You don't have to wood burn it. You don't have to put a finish on them. They're all done. Thanks, everybody. Till next time. See you on the next one. Don't shit your pants.